Hello, and welcome back to a new lesson. Today we'll learn about the last point of interest category in our system, which is the units point of interest. And we will start with the basis of what makes these interesting. So, when you are working with a building project like so, you will have 10, 20, 50, 100 apartments, and so on. So, in this scenario, in this project, I think we have 88. So, let me check. And yes, we have 88 units. And we have all of this filtering system. We have the surface area, we have the budget, we have the number of bedrooms, we have the number of bathrooms, we have the listing status, the furniture, is it fully furnished, partially furnished, it's not furnished, as well as the orientation, and that's it. So we have clear all filters, but this is not about this. So let's say if I want to see apartments that only fully furnished, then I can turn off these two filters and now we see units that are only fully furnished. And if I click on this unit here, you will see listing ID is 1, floor number is 1, the total area is 128, the market value is 320, the bedrooms 2, and so on. And if you're wondering how did we set up this information and did we set it up manually for all of these inside Unreal Engine? And let me answer the questions. The first question is how we set this up and did we set it up manually? We set it up in Google Sheets or any file or program that allows you to create sheets and export these sheets as a CSV file, separated file. So here is an example. We have this Google Sheet that is also linked to you in the template. So in the gallery level, if you click here, click on open help URL, you will be directed to this sheet to copy it and to modify on it. And we need to preserve the same structure. So the data table here or the filtering system is built on this structure. We 100%, for example, need the market value and the number of bedrooms and bathrooms and so on. It makes sense for architectural projects. Now look here, the apartment number 1, the market value is 320, and here the market value is 320. So once you set up your sheet with all the units in the project and set the listing ID, the floor number, the area, the value, and the features of this unit, as well as the orientation. So also pay attention here. We have open bracket, close bracket, and then we have north with large N equals false with large F, and east. So we have a comma and then a space and then east, comma, space, south equals true, and so on. So east is true, south is true, west is false, north is false. So if I turn off north and west, we still see this apartment. But if I turn this off and this off, it's gone. If I turn these on, we don't see these the apartment here. If we turn on one of them, we're gonna see it. So that's something to keep in mind when it comes to the orientation. You need to follow this structure: north, east, south, west, and they are all starting with capital letter and there are spaces in between. Any mistakes and you might have some problems, so I highly recommend testing this on a couple of apartments first and then you're good. Now, once you set up your sheet, once you set up all the information in the sheet, you can go to File, you can go to Download and select separated values, CSV file. Click on that and then save it under a specific folder on your drive or desktop and then click Save, let's replace, no problem. And now this is our file. Now we can import this file in Unreal Engine, but before we do, we need to create a data table asset inside Unreal Engine. So Control Space, you can go to Systems, Point of Interest, then go to Data Tables folder, and here you have the data table I'm using for this specific scenario. Then you have an example if you want, and this is an even older example. You can basically select any unit and set the data table you want, and you can right-click to go to miscellaneous here and go to data table, or you can search for data table and select that. Click. Now we need to pick row structure, and for that you need to select the structure unit data filter. You cannot select any other structure, it must be this structure. And of course, if you need to edit the structure or create your own structure with your own structure here, then you must be an advanced user and you don't need my help. But if you have any problems or ideas, let me know and we can see how we can tackle them. Now, we must select this file. structure underscore unit data filter, because this is for the filtering system. Click OK, and this will create a new data table for us. So let's call this DT unit test. And let's open this. And you will notice that we have the exact same structure as we have in our Google Sheet: row name, ID, floor number, total area, market value, and so on. And we end with orientation. And if you click on add new row, we will have the information of that row. The default values are like this. If you want, set this manually inside the engine if you don't want to use Google Sheets, or you can simply import a Google Sheet. So I'm going to delete these and I'm going to click on re-import, and let's go to the file location we saved from Google Sheet, and let's click this file and click on open, and this will populate our file for us, our data table for us with all the information. So for any reason, if I want to change this from available to not available, I can, let's say this is sold, click here, select sold, and now of course we need to save this. So file, download, CSV, and I can override the file, and now I can click on re-import, and this will be now sold. And if I want to use this data table for my point of interest, then I need to select my point of interest and then click here and then select the table we've just created, and this will turn into red. It looks like I've selected the wrong data table, so let's make sure we select the correct data table. So it's called unit test. Sometimes if it does not update, you may need to restart the engine or open another map and then reopen your map, and it will work. Now I'm going to reset this to select the data table that I'm working on originally, and I'm gonna stop the lesson here to keep the lessons not too long. In the next lesson, we will take a look at the point of interest actor itself of the units, its settings, and how we can keep working with the data we have. Now, to answer one of your future questions, can we connect Google Sheets or have like some sort of runtime data tables? Yes, we can, and that will be tackled in an upcoming updates in future. And we will most likely use an external plugin where we can change the structure or the system we're using with the data table. Instead of using the Unreal Engine data tables, we need to use another, but that's a plugin that I need to look at. And once that update is released, I will let you know. However, you will need to purchase a separate plugin. So right now, the method we are working with, this is the offline method where you set up everything and then you package your project. In future, because I got this request many times, we will 100% tackle another method to update our data, especially after we package the project. When we release that update in the future, you will be the first to know. With that being said, as always, I hope you found this useful. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Also, stay hydrated. Bye bye.